Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 14. Module 14 is the second module where you will be working on the visual analysis essay. So in the previous module, you sort of started planning the essay, you chose your visual, posted it on the discussion board, maybe got some feedback from your peers. Now you should be looking for some feedback from me as I go through and grade that discussion board. If I see any issues with the visual you've chosen, I'll let you know. If you decide after you do the discussion board to pick a different visual for your essay, you may want to email me and double check and make sure that that will work, just so you don't write an essay about something that won't meet the criteria. So this is, the module is fairly simple. The only assignment is to actually finish the essay itself. Criteria sheet is here. So again, just listing the criteria for the assignment. A couple of things that I do want to point out, making sure that your thesis statement does include the main message of the visual, and the message is not just to sell the product or whatever it is that the visual, typically advertising, is trying to do. It is more about what the creator is trying to say about that product to get you to buy it. If you're doing some kind of advertising typically works better for this type of assignment. And usually if you can get like a still advertisement, a print image out of a magazine or something, that's probably the best type of visual to use. So just because it's a little bit easier to write about to meet the criteria here. The body paragraphs, typically students will focus on design elements, use of color, layout, that kind of thing, and just discussion of what does it look like. You can also include some of the context if that's relevant or appropriate. If you just got it off of the internet, probably not going to be very helpful to you, but you could, if you found it out of like a print magazine, context is definitely something that you could include if you wanted to. Typically that follows or it falls with a discussion of the intended audience. So I do want you to name the rhetorical appeal that you see that's most prominent. Some students cover all three and some students just cover the most prominent one. I do want to see the word ethos, logos, or pathos in your essay so that I know what you're referring to, and then name the specific audience as specifically as possible. So, if you have Men's Health magazine, who do they normally target? Who's their normal target audience? Obviously men, but usually men within a certain age range, kind of depending on what they choose to put in there. The advertisement itself might also be have a more specific audience to even the magazine that you found it in or the website that you found it on. So you might be thinking about that as well. And then a couple of things, remember that you're not using second person pronouns. Again, we try to avoid that entirely in academic writing, but in this case, you do not want to be telling the reader what he or she is seeing when they look at this advertisement. You want to be focusing on what you see. 2 to 5 pages, you should have no problem reaching this if you found a good advertisement. And then don't forget, you need a works cited page with your visual listed. That is one criteria some students miss, and they miss all those points for it. And then you have to upload a copy of your visual. I need the picture preferably copied and pasted into the Word document. That is the best way to do it. However, if for some reason you can't do that, uploading a JPEG file with it is fine. Videos are the only thing that you can't actually put in a Word document, and in that case you have to use just the link. But if I can't see your visual, then I will not be able to grade it appropriately, and you're going to lose points as a result. These are some examples for works cited entries. You have to have a works cited entry for your visual. It does need to be MLA style. And these are all from the textbook, just different ideas for what you can do for stuff that you find online. And there's also examples of print advertising in there. And if you find something, then you're not really sure what to do with it, you can always send me an email and I can help you kind of figure out what it should look like. And then obviously using the online writing lab is a great idea, especially since we are not doing a peer edit with this one. So you're more than welcome to use the Brain Fuse online tutoring, a link again over here on the side, and then look at their results, make sure that you are sending it in within that 48 business hour turnaround. And then this last spot is, of course, a spot to upload the essay itself. You can see the different criteria that you'll be graded on, and making sure that documentation, the only required documentation is actually the works cited entry. You don't have any in-text documentation, so it's a little bit easier, but you're also graded on whether or not the visual was included. So make sure that you are following all the criteria for the assignment. This is your last major essay for the class. Make sure that you have spent some time on it. Don't just give up here at the end of the semester. If you have any questions about your choice in visual or your essay itself, make sure you send me an email. Otherwise, I hope you are doing well and have a great week.